Welcome, guys, and welcome back to another week of my final thoughts on the NFL. Week 8 is in the books. We're almost halfway already through the season of the NFL. There are no bye weeks in this one, and we've had a lot of crazy games this past weekend. We're going to get right into it. Week 8 of my NFL final thoughts. Alrighty, guys, we're going to start out with Thursday Night Football, as always, presented by Amazon Prime. And we had the Minnesota Vikings come into town to the Los Angeles Rams this past week. And ladies and gentlemen, the question of the day, are the Rams back? Personally, I think they are. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua made an unexpected return. Everybody kind of expected Cooper Kupp, I think, to play this week, kind of be on a limited snap, still had a decent game. But Puka Nacua, an unexpected return, in my opinion. I did not think he was going to play. The Rams take on a home win. I would say, it's a little bit of an upset, I would say. But I think I personally expected the Rams to win this game. But I did not, like I said, did not expect Puka Nacua to make his return. Had over 100 yards. Of course, Kyren Williams again finds the end zone. But the call controversy play of the game, the very end, the Vikings are down, have one more chance to at least make it a ball game. That face mask on Sam Darnold, why was it not called? It's a terrible call. Could not believe it. The game ends there, and that's just pathetic. Very pathetic officiating. Either way, I still believe the Rams are going to win this game regardless. I don't think the Vikings, I just don't think it would have happened. But the Rams, they squeak out a win. They win by 10 points over Minnesota in a big-time Thursday night game. Very exciting game, but just a very controversial call. The no face mask on Sam Darnold was absolutely ridiculous. But if I gave you my personal opinion right now, if the Rams do stay healthy, they will win the NFC West. They will. I think they are right now. I think they can be the best team in that division, and I certainly believe they will be NFC West champs. Just wait. And we're going to move to our 1 o'clock games. No London games this past week, so we're moving straight to 1 o'clock. The upset of the week, though. The Browns defeated the Baltimore Ravens. Jameis Winston era has officially begun in Cleveland. With a huge upset, no one definitely saw this one coming. What a day for Cleveland and the Browns. Jameis Winston had 3 touchdowns against this Ravens defense. Cedric Tillman, what a fantasy snag that I got on this guy in a couple leagues. This dude has been a dog the past 2 weeks. In the freaking dog pound. The Browns, 2 touchdowns for Tillman. And Lamar Jackson, they just couldn't get it done on the very end. They came down the field, tried to give up a Hail Mary for themselves, just did not work there in the end zone. I guess it really wasn't it wasn't that too deep of a pass. I don't think it was. But either way, the Ravens could not get it done. Browns get it, forcing an incompletion in an upset in Cleveland, 29-24. But the big news now coming out of Baltimore this past week, they have signed Diontae Johnson from the Carolina Panthers in a big-time trade deadline there before that one shapes up in the NFL, the trade deadline ends. But Diontae Johnson, now a Baltimore Raven, huge now for that offense. Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdowns in the air. Derrick Henry finds the end zone there late, I believe, in the fourth quarter, but wasn't enough to stop Deshaun Watson connecting up with Cedric Tillman for the game-winning ending touchdown, and the Cleveland Browns stunned the NFL and the Ravens in an upset, 29-24. And now moving to another clash of the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Another nail-biter between these two teams. The Texans come out on top just by 3 points. But the biggest news I think the Colts can be happy about, well, one, why is Anthony Richardson complaining about he's tired coming out the field? That is just ridiculous. Either way, the Colts have finally made the right decision. Joe Flacco will remain the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, and it is about time. Why did that take so long? I have no idea. Either way, the Texans do squeak out with a win, but what did it cost? Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs now ruled out of the NFL season now due to a torn ACL. No Nico Collins, no Stefon Diggs. It's all about Tank Dell now. But now we're going to be able to see some more action of John Mechie as the wide receiver 2 now there for Houston. I think that guy's got so much potential. He could be a steal. Watch out for him. But either way, the Texans, they squeak by, hold on late in the fourth quarter against the Indianapolis Colts. But I think Colts fans, like I said, rejoicing. Joe Flacco is now your official starting quarterback. I don't know why that took so long, but man, Flacco is back. But either way, the Texans, they are running away with the division with another win. They improve on to 6-2 in the season. Man, but what does Houston do? Do they try to get another wide receiver now? We'll see what happens. Either way, Joe Mixon, though, he finds the end zone again, over 100 yards. Dude's just been balling. Either way, the Texans, they squeak out a 3-point win over the rival Indianapolis Colts, 23-20. Okay, is this even an upset, though? Who knows? I guess we can say it was, because I don't think anybody expected this team to win. The New York Jets played the New England Patriots this past week, and the Jets lose again. Unbelievable. What now for New York? What do you do now? What do you seriously do? What do you do? Because I don't know. I don't know what the Jets are going to do. Either way, though, Drake May did go down for New England, left the game, and then Jacoby Brissett now came back in as a starting role. Looks like he might, I don't know if he's going to be the remaining starter. We'll see. I don't know how long May's going to be out. I honestly don't even know what his injury is yet. I haven't even checked. Either way, Jacoby Brissett leads the Patriots down the field. The last drive of the game with a game-winning rushing touchdown for the Patriots, and they squeak by the Jets. Both teams are now 2-6, and the Patriots are rejoicing to have 2 wins now. The Jets, what? Only 2 wins still? I don't know what to do. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he threw 2 touchdowns, but Garrett Wilson over 100 yards. But what did the Jets do? I mean, I think that's the biggest question of the day. What do the Jets do now? They are in panic mode. Their season is on the ropes. Another loss for the Jets. To this point, dude, it's just too fun anymore. I love it. Honestly, so happy for the Patriots for that one. Couldn't be any happier. So move on to the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars this past week. I think this game had a lot of question marks on it, watching a little bit of this game. Speaking of another quarterback injury, though, Jordan Love goes down with a groin injury. We'll see how long he's going to be out. The Jaguars gave the Packers a run for their money. A very good game. Josh Jacobs, though, dominated that Jaguar defense. Malik Willis, though, comes into the game, tied up 27 apiece, connecting with Reed down the sideline, ending up with a Brandon McManus game-winning field goal over the Jaguars, a heartbreaking loss for Jacksonville. Like I said, they gave the Packers a very much run for the money, but it just wasn't enough for Green Bay to get this one done. We'll see what happens, I think, as well with Jacksonville. I believe they lost Christian Kirk as well. I believe he is hurt now. So they're down another receiver, or a receiver. But either way, the Jaguars, so there's just too many injuries. I can't even keep track anymore. A lot of people were getting hurt this past week. But either way, the Green Bay Packers, they get a tough win. They remain now at 6-2. Jaguars fall to 2-6. We'll see how long Love is out. Right now, I think he is believed questionable to play in his next game. But either way, unfortunately, the Packers, they squeak out a win against the Jags. We head down to South Beach of the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Miami Dolphins. Welcome back, Tua. And himself, just pretty decent average game, over 200 yards, a touchdown in the end zone. But it wasn't enough to stop Kyler Murray and that Cardinals offense. Marvin Harrison had a day. Trey McBride had a day. And what a day it was, though, for the Arizona Cardinals in a comeback game. Once again, a game-winning field goal for Arizona. I think a lot of people had a lot of high hopes for Tyreek Hill fantasy managers. He just didn't do much. First week back for Tua, though. Glad to see he's back. Even running the ball, we saw as well. With Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, though, they squeak out a game-winning field goal, 34 yards, and a 28-27 win. I didn't pay much attention to this game, but I know that offense for Arizona was definitely rolling with the passing game, though. Kyler Murray, though, man, what a day. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns for him. So a nice day for the Cardinals. They get out a much-needed win. They go to 4-4 and tied for first in the NFC West. Also, I forgot to mention, happy Tight Ends Day for the NFL. The Tight Ends had a spectacular day in the NFL this past week. Speaking of these two guys of the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and another shootout in the NFC South. The Atlanta, Falcons, messed up there. Had an offensive field day in the air. Kirk Cousins, 4 touchdowns. Now, the biggest question is, Kyle Pitts had a great game, but did he fumble at the goal line? Because that was really, really close on that instant replay. I honestly thought it was a fumble way I looked at it first, watching NFL Red Zone, but that was a super close call with Pitts there in the end zone. But man, Cade Otton, what a day he has. back-to-back tough weeks for him. He's become a main target with Baker Mayfield. He had 2 touchdowns for 81 yards in the air. A nice dominating day for him. I mean, no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin. I mean, it's still a nice day for Baker Mayfield. 3 touchdowns. Did have 2 interceptions, though. The Buccaneers tried a Hail Mary for themselves. Just did not connect. Why do I want to say Cardinals? The Atlanta Falcons. It's just the Birds, whatever. Get a much needed win in the NFC South. They go to 5-3 in the division, and they take first place over the Buccaneers, and another shootout between these two teams. I mean, I wish these guys could play like 4 times a year instead of twice. Because, man, when these guys play, it's no defense, nothing but just smash mouth offensive football. But either way, a much-needed win for Atlanta. They go to 5-3 on a nice National Tight Ends Day for Kyle Pitts and Cade Otton. And we move on to Cincinnati and the Queen City. The Eagles came into town to take on the Cincinnati Bengals this past Sunday. And it was nothing but Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts and Jalen Hurts. What a nice day for him on the ground. 3 rushing touchdowns for him. Saquon Barkley over 100 yards. The Eagles a 20-point smash mouth win. I think the Bengals finally really came down to reality here. I mean, they played pretty tough throughout the majority of the game, but just fourth quarter collapse. Joe Burrow, a tough interception that we saw there on that instant replay on the sideline. The Eagles, though, they dominate Cincinnati, though. Cincinnati, like I said, they haven't been playing like very tough opponents, and they've been just squeaking out wins, and they finally got really slapped in the face. Unfortunately, I was rooting for them, but the Eagles do get a nice win there for Philly. Like I said, Jalen Hurts just had himself a day. 4 total touchdowns, 200-plus passing yards, and he didn't have a lot of rushing yards, but either way, the dude found the end zone 3 times. Shout out Tush Push, of course. But either way, the Eagles dominate Cincinnati. We'll see what's next. Cincinnati as they bounce back. They try to bounce back next week. Joe Burrow had an okay day, 1 touchdown in the air and 1 pick from that unfortunate very interception. But either way, Eagles, unfortunately, they dominate Cincinnati. And last but not least on our 1 o'clock games, the Tennessee Titans and the Detroit Lions. The Lions just did everything they did to literally just score any touchdown that they wanted. Jared Goff threw 3 touchdowns on 85 yards, and the Lions put up 52 points on the Tennessee Titans. And the Titans' defense literally isn't that bad. Legacy game, though, for Raymond. What a day he had on the special team side. Also, just finding the end zone either way on offense as well. Just a nice day for the freaking Detroit Lions. Just having a field day on that Tennessee defense. Doing anything that they can to score. Jahmyr Gibbs over 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Sam Laporta finding the end zone from a David Montgomery touchdown pass. The Lions just did everything that they wanted. Whatever they wanted, when they wanted. They were scoring touchdowns on Sunday. The Lions right now are just a front runner, I believe, for the NFC's conference game to this point when they get into the playoffs. They by far look like one of the best teams in the league. I know it's the Titans, but either way, the Lions just look so dominant on all sides of the ball, and they are just looking like the team to beat right now. The Detroit Lions, fans, congrats. You are 6-1, leading the NFC North. And the Packers and Lions game next week is literally going to feed generations. So we move on to the 4 o'clock games we couldn't help to start out with by the Bears and the Commanders. Before we get to the Hail Mary, I have one serious question. Is why? Why is DeAndre Swift not on the field? Why is Johnson still in the game? Either way, that's not the biggest problem. Why in the world is Doug Kramer on the field getting the ball inside the 1-yard line, and it's not Johnson in the backfield getting it? It's not even DeAndre Swift that's on the field for Chicago. Are you kidding me? Why? That's my question. The game could have been over. You forced the Commanders to punt the next possession. Either way, they might have possibly went, obviously, of course, with it on 4th down, wherever they were at. They could have held on. And then Chicago scores on the next possession, of course. But the game would have been over. It would have been over for Chicago. But no, Kramer is in the backfield. Caleb Williams, handoff, fumble. Just disaster. Why? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. The Bears deserve to lose every part of that game since that sequence. It's pathetic. and just embarrassing. Of course, then we move on to the Hail Mary, which was insane, of course. Matt Eberflus, get him off the freaking team. Pathetic, showboating. He cost them the game. Congratulations, Chicago Bears. You just lost a game that I didn't expect you to lose. They needed this win, and now they're going to go on a losing streak. The Bears season is now officially over. Book it right now. They are going to be on a hot streak of just hot trash. The Commanders sneak away with a game-winning Hail Mary to Noah Brown off tip pass. Yep. Way to go, Chicago. You beat yourself. And, of course, now we have to move on to the stupid Kansas City Chiefs with another stupid win. They're still, unfortunately, freaking undefeated. Travis Kelce finally had himself a day. 90 yards and a touchdown. It's one of those just divisional scare games. I think this is what it is. I really did get to the Chiefs. Welcome, though. DeAndre Hopkins didn't do much, but either way, he is now on that offensive side without Juju Smith-Schuster was out this past week. Gardner Minshew had a better game, had no interceptions, 2 touchdowns, but unfortunately a tough loss for the Raiders. I did not pay attention at all to this game. But either way, Patrick Mahomes again throws another interception, go figure. Somehow, this dude is still in the MVP race. What in the bias trash is that? But either way, Kareem Hunt again finds the end zone for the Chiefs. Not much to say about this game. Like I said, didn't watch a lot of it. One of those divisional battles. Chiefs squeak out a win, and they are still the only undefeated team in the NFL, now improving to 7-0. To move on to the Bills and the Seattle Seahawks. And what a day it was for Josh Allen and that air attack for the Bills. Where's... Anybody seen Amari Cooper? Because where is he? Fantasy manager here, Amari Cooper, where the hell was he? Nowhere. So ridiculous. I mean, I'm pissed. Amari Cooper was the biggest sellout for me in fantasy football. Cost me about 2 games. It's all about Shakir and Coleman. That's all it was. James Cook had himself field day, whatever. 2 touchdowns. I'm so upset. 2 touchdowns, though, for James Cook. Over 100 yards. Costly mistakes early for that Seattle offense. Just turnover after turnover on downs. Just pathetic football. They're fighting each other on the sidelines. An absolute just clown show on that Seattle side. They got dominated by Buffalo here at home, 31-10. The Seattle Seahawks now tied at still a 2-way tie for first place in the NFC West. The Rams are very close now. The Bills, though, running away, just like the Texans are with their division. Now it's 6-2. They have like a 4-game, maybe 4.5 game lead in the AFC West or AFC East. So that division is wraps. I think about every division besides the AFC North is just a run. It's just not even in contention. All of them just running away with it besides the Ravens and Steelers battling right now. Bengals still in the hunt. But either way, the Bills, they dominate Seattle. Even with rain contentions, the Bills' offense was still very dominant. 1 turnover for Allen, though, did not matter. Bills, they run away with it, and they dominate the Seattle Seahawks. Where the heck is Amari Cooper? Okay, and we move on to one of the other really kind of boring games I think of this week was the Carolina Panthers and Denver Broncos. I don't think I watched more than 60 seconds of this game. Panthers had the lead, and it's gone. Bo Nix, though, had himself a day. 3 touchdowns in the air, connecting with 3 different players, and just a nice day, though, for Bo Nix. Over 200 yards, close to 300 yards. Like I said, 3 touchdowns. No Andy Dalton this week. Bryce Young returns, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and he lost his best receiver of Deontay Johnson. Either way, he didn't play, but now he's officially gone. So the Panthers are in shambles still. Denver wins by 2 touchdowns. Just a very boring game between 2 young quarterbacks. Like I said, 3 touchdowns for Bo Nix into the air. Mr. Trotman is his name. McCollin and Adkins. Yeah, that's who's all scoring for Denver. No Sutton, but he did have 100 yards. But either way, Denver, I don't even know this team at all. As you can tell, this team's boring in my opinion. But somehow they're 5-3. This team is 5-3. Okay, maybe they kind of are in the contention of the AFC West, but they're not going to win it. I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs. But easy win for Denver. They're 5-3. I can't judge them because I'm a Cowboys fan. I can't judge anyone. So we move on to the Saints and Chargers in the field goal battle matchup about half this game. We also saw some baseball scores throughout the whole entire game. And the Saints offense is dead. It's over. The Saints have fallen at 2-6. The downfall of the Saints needs to be studied. The Chargers, though, they eventually really got hot. McConkey, legacy game, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns for him. Dobbins finding the end zone. Ended up being a 26-8 blowout game for the Chargers. As this the game, thought it was going to end like 15-12 or 12-9. It looked like some baseball scoring, though, but like I said, the Chargers ran away with it, dominated New Orleans. Big time win for the Chargers. They go to 4-3 onto the year. Saints, they are ready for the draft. Too many injuries for them. Chris Olave, though, did have a good game, though. 100 yards for him, but just not much going. Rattler literally just did nothing. Saints offense did nothing. No one did anything. Yeah, it was just about nothing but Blake Grupe. Sorry. Yeah, that was the Saints offense, was the kicker. But it's kind of like Brandon Aubrey for Dallas. As we move on to the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers next. When does it end? When does it end? When is it over? When's the draft? When's DeRon Bland come back? When does DeMarcus Lawrence come back? When does Micah Parsons come back? Can I give my ACL to Sam Williams? When's Brandon Cooks come back? How many rushing yards did we have? Dalvin Cook played. Ezekiel Elliott was our leading rusher with 34 yards. Dak Prescott threw 2 interceptions again. CeeDee Lamb won me my fantasy game because he had 42 points. Death, taxes, and the 49ers owning my Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. So Dallas loses again to the 49ers. I can't defend Dak anymore. But is this his loss? No. There's 10 other guys on the field on offense besides him. There's 11 other guys on defense that he obviously doesn't play. When Dallas was up at halftime, I knew it wasn't going to last. I knew the 49ers were going to wake up. They were going to make adjustments like a normal team should, because the way they played was absolutely embarrassing. They're lucky they weren't losing by way more points, because if they would have been getting dominated if they were playing anybody else but Dallas. It was a pathetic first half for both teams. Ugly. And then George Kittle went off, as he should have, as I expected him to, on National Tight Ends Day, over 100 yards and a touchdown, because George Kittle does everything against us when I don't even think he's anything special. No Christian McCaffrey. No Brandon Ayuk. No problem. Brock Purdy and the 49ers win. Again, over Dallas. They won by 6. Dallas came back, just like they did against the Ravens, but it wasn't enough. Dallas do nothing in the third quarter. They do it all in the fourth, and they come up short every single time. Why? I don't know. I don't know why Mike McCarthy is still employed. I don't know why Jerry Jones is still the GM, the president of everything of Dallas. I don't know. When's it going to change, Dallas? When are we get? I understand, and you have to understand that this team is in full of injuries on defense. And I couldn't tell you how much better I think this offense will be better when Brandon Cooks comes back, because the dude is actually such an underrated weapon on this offense that Dak needs right now. CeeDee Lamb can't do everything. Jake Ferguson can't do everything. That's all that's on this offense, is those two right there, carrying the offense on their back with Dak. You can't expect Dak to throw 50 passes, 40 passes a game. It's not going to work. There's no running game in this offense. Elliott didn't look that bad, though, but then it just ended, though. He had some decent runs. The way he looked like he was ready to play, but the Cowboys' offense is just terrible. It's a pathetic showing from Dallas. They lose again. And I'm ready to get hurt again next week by Kirk Cousins. Now we move on to Monday Night Football. So we move on to Monday Night Football between the Giants and Steelers. This game looked like nothing but the Saints and Chargers in the first half, with nothing but field goals and field goals and field goals. And then Calvin Austin arrived. The special teams for the Steelers turned the game around. Punt return for a touchdown. And then next thing you know, he catches a touchdown. I really did not watch a single thing of this game, mainly watching the World Series because I had work the next day and I just crashed. And this game, I just had no interest to watch this game whatsoever. Russell Wilson continues to prove everyone wrong. Gets another win under center for the Steelers. Has a touchdown, 200-plus yards. Actually, 250-plus yards. Daniel Jones, I've said it so many times. Why is this guy on primetime? Why? Why are the Giants still on primetime games? I love seeing them embarrassed, but dude, come on, dude. This dude has one primetime win ever. And the Steelers, I saw a crazy stat that they have lost a Monday night game at home in like 26 straight games now, I think, or something like that. That's insane. But either way, the Steelers, of course, they win. They're 6-2. Giants fall to 2-6, and another pathetic performance. Tracy's definitely the lead back, I think, in New York. Dude's definitely proven that. But either way, the Giants, they lose a close one, though. Just not enough. Just a boring game, in my opinion. But either way, Steelers win a game. And now we'll go on to my teams of the week and my losers of the week and the next week of week 9 in the schedule. So this week, we will start off with my team of the week. I think this one's easy. Dog pound, Cleveland Browns. An unexpected upset nobody saw coming with the Ravens as dominant as they have looked this past weeks and their red-hot offense. I think the Browns will be my winners of the week this week. Jameis Winston is now the main man. They probably already want a statue built out of that stadium of that's the Guardian Stadium. Whatever the freaking Browns Stadium is. I mean, it's about to be burnt down anyway, but just build the statue for now for Jameis Winston. A nice win for Cleveland, an upset. Sandra Tillman, like I said, he went off for the Browns. Just a nice performance for Cleveland. A huge upset and shutting down Lamar in the end. Cleveland Browns, congratulations. You're my team of the week. And my losers of the week. I could have given this to at least 2 teams. I had to choose between the Bears and the Jets. And I'm going to be honest, I really want to give it to both. I seriously do. I want to give this to both teams. They both deserve this. You know what? It's the Bears. I really wanted to go with the Jets, but they have been disappointing week on and week out. And the play calling with Chicago, the ending and everything, they are my losers of the week. And just the pathetic ending there that they had, they are by far my losers of the week. They should have won their game. Very disappointing loss because, like I said, they're going to go on to a losing streak now because their schedule's going to get tougher. And then, they really needed this one. They are officially out of the playoffs. Their season is over. It's all over, Chicago. It's over. It is so over. Glad you enjoyed your winning, but it's all over. A pathetic loss. Chicago, easily now really looking at it, they are my losers of the week. And like I said, guys, thank you so much for watching now on my final thoughts on Week 8 of the NFL season. If you look up here, is the next week of Week 9 in the NFL. Another fun schedule. Coming up next week, we'll return with some bye weeks for some teams. And yeah, we had a lot of no bye weeks this week. Everybody played football on National Tight Ends Day. Lots of tight ends had some fun finding the end zone this week. If you put some bets on that, I wish I did, but I did not. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching my final thoughts on the NFL in Week 8. I will see you for Week 9 as we are officially right there, like I said, already halfway almost through the NFL season. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Leave a like and subscribe if you want. I'll see you guys in the next one.